Psychology has some fascinating techniques that anyone can use to create connection and attraction. Our minds respond to certain influences in predictable ways, and today we're sharing 7 psychological tricks that can make someone fall for you. These aren't manipulative tactics, but rather ways to showcase your authentic self and build genuine connections. The color of attraction. Our first trick, consider wearing the color red. This might sound surprising, but there's interesting research behind it. A study published in the European Journal of Social Psychology found that men demonstrated greater attraction to women wearing red compared to other colors. In one experiment, men were asked to pose questions to women dressed in either red or blue clothing. The results showed a clear preference for interacting with women in red. A follow-up experiment demonstrated that men chose to sit closer to women dressed in red versus those in blue. As the researchers explained, this finding demonstrates that color significantly influences romantic behavior across species. Red appears to function as a basic nonverbal signal that affects important attraction-related behaviors. While this doesn't mean you should completely overhaul your wardrobe, incorporating red elements when meeting someone special might subtly enhance your attractiveness. Whether it's a red shirt, dress, tie, or accessory, this psychological trigger can work to your advantage. The vulnerability connection. For our second psychological trick, we're exploring the power of appropriate vulnerability. Research from social psychologist Arthur Aaron and colleagues has demonstrated that gradual reciprocal self-disclosure significantly increases interpersonal attraction and closeness. In their famous 36 Questions That Lead to Love study, they found that pairs who disclosed increasingly personal information about themselves experienced greater feelings of connection compared to those who engaged in small talk. This phenomenon, sometimes called the vulnerability loop, creates rapid intimacy between people. The key is appropriate progression, starting with lighter personal revelations and gradually sharing deeper thoughts and experiences as trust builds. When you thoughtfully reveal authentic aspects of yourself, you invite the other person to respond in kind, creating a cycle of deepening connection. This vulnerability isn't about oversharing or creating emotional dependency. Rather, it's about genuine, measured openness that signals trust and invites similar sharing from the other person. This reciprocal vulnerability creates a unique bond that forms the bedrock of lasting attraction. Radiating positivity. Our third psychological trick involves showcasing your positive side. People naturally gravitate toward those who exude happiness and optimism. When someone primarily experiences positive emotions in your presence, they begin associating those good feelings with you specifically, potentially developing deeper attraction. The fascinating aspect is that emotions are contagious. Research from the University of Hawaii and Ohio State University indicates that people can unconsciously detect others' emotional states simply by being around them. This emotional transmission happens at a level below conscious awareness. So if you're genuinely in good spirits, express that energy openly. Your positive emotional state will likely influence those around you, creating a pleasant atmosphere that people associate with your presence. This positive association forms a powerful foundation for attraction and connection. The mirror effect. Our fourth psychological trick is to mirror your partner. Have you heard about the chameleon effect? This fascinating concept has been extensively studied in psychological research. The chameleon effect focuses primarily on how we unconsciously mimic others to build rapport and establish connections. It's essentially our natural way of trying to fit in. People are naturally drawn to those similar to themselves, so when you subtly reflect their movements and gestures, they may unconsciously begin to perceive you as more like them. By gently mirroring the other person's body language and expressions, without being too obvious about it, you can create a subconscious feeling of similarity. They might find themselves drawn to you without fully understanding why. The secret? They're actually responding to reflections of themselves in your behavior, creating an immediate sense of familiarity and comfort. The lasting first impression. Our fifth psychological trick emphasizes the importance of making an excellent first impression. It's widely acknowledged that initial impressions leave enduring marks on our perceptions of others. According to research published in the Journal of Social Psychological and Personality Science, first impressions formed from merely seeing someone's photograph can influence judgments about them even after in-person meetings. In the study, participants evaluated others based on photographs and then met them face-to-face. Remarkably, those initial photograph-based impressions continued to influence perceptions even after direct interaction. This demonstrates why that first meeting with someone you're interested in carries such significance. Arriving punctually, presenting yourself authentically, and projecting positive energy creates a favorable initial impression that can positively influence all future interactions. That strong first impression forms the foundation upon which attraction can naturally develop. Beautifully imperfect. For our sixth trick, demonstrate your capabilities and intelligence while embracing your humanity. Interestingly, most people aren't attracted to perfection. Why? Because flawlessness can be intimidating rather than inviting. Research from the University of Texas revealed that showing occasional vulnerabilities while still demonstrating competence actually increases your attractiveness. In this fascinating study, researcher Elliot Aronson had participants rate the attractiveness of fictional test takers who performed at different levels: excellent, average, or poor. Here's the interesting part. Some test takers were portrayed as accidentally spilling coffee at the conclusion of their interview. The results? People consistently rated these coffee-spilling individuals as most attractive, regardless of their test performance. This suggests people want evidence of both competence and relatability. When you demonstrate your capabilities while also showing you're human enough to make occasional mistakes, people feel both impressed by and connected to you. This balanced approach makes you approachable rather than intimidating, creating a foundation for genuine attraction. The power of presence. Our seventh trick is beautifully simple. Spend quality time with the person you're interested in. This might seem like obvious advice, but there's compelling psychological research supporting this approach, especially if you're attracted to someone you see regularly in class or at work. Psychologists call this the mere exposure effect. People naturally develop preferences for things and people they're familiar with, even without particularly memorable interactions or conversations. Your jokes don't need to be award-winning, just your consistent presence matters. According to research conducted by psychologist R.B. Zajonc, the mere exposure effect describes how people develop preferences simply through familiarity. When someone is repeatedly exposed to a particular stimulus, in this case, they develop a sense of familiarity that translates into preference. This is precisely why advertisers show the same commercials repeatedly during your favorite shows. The more familiar you become with something, or someone, the more you begin to notice and appreciate it. Your consistent, genuine presence in someone's life can gradually build attraction through this natural psychological process. We hope these 7 psychological insights give you useful approaches for connecting with that special someone. Remember, these aren't manipulation tactics, but rather ways to highlight your authentic self and create genuine connections. Which of these techniques resonates most with you? Would you try the mirror effect, embrace appropriate vulnerability, or perhaps add a splash of red to your wardrobe? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this exploration into the psychology of attraction helpful, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button and share this video with friends who might be looking to make meaningful connections. Thanks for joining us on Incredi Path, and we'll see you in our next video.